There I am. You've been getting some amazing messages this morning, so my work here is done. I have nothing left to say. You've got everything you need to know. So my name is Denise Moore. Oh, would you take a couple of stills for me, just for publicity purposes? Thank you, Susan. I just want to say as well, if you're not connected with me on social media, please do connect with me on social media. If you hate me, just block me on social media. Those are your options for today. So yes, I believe that fabulousness is serious business. And as Nadine said earlier, people talk about how big their why is, and I said, I don't care how big your why is. How big is your butt? Yeah? Because your butt is the thing that gets in your way, right? I really want to do this, but... So we stop ourselves, don't we? Yes? Can I get a witness? Come on, just listen to James Brown. Who says butt? Butt. So who's got a big butt? Work on the big butts today. So there's a couple of things I would like you to come away with today. I want you to come away with knowing that you have the absolute power to change your life at any given moment through the power of your mind. Has anyone studied the power of their mind? Show me hands. We realize what we're capable of, and we're only ever one thought away from creating something else in our life. So some of the messages today, I was making copious amounts of notes going, I must remember to tell them this, I must remember to tell them that. But I'm also a great believer in authenticity. And I kind of trust that whatever comes up, hopefully it's not my dinner, but whatever comes up when I'm talking is exactly what the audience needs to hear. So I've made loads of notes. I prepared about 10 minutes last night. No, I prepared things I wanted to tell you, but I'll trust that the right things come up for you. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in New York. You might have detected. Anyone detect an accent? You guys are good. So I was born in New York, and I've spent 32 years living in the UK. And I spent most of my life not recognizing how amazing I am, because I was living by the set of rules that were imposed on me that I never even realized were imposed on me. Yeah, so about 30 years old, I discovered Tony Robbins, yeah? Anyone else? Hands, Tony Robbins? Yeah, we've heard of Tony Robbins. He's actually in Miami at the moment doing his Unleash the Power Within. So I discovered Tony Robbins, and I started recognizing that I had control over the outcomes I had in my life by the way I was thinking about things. And I'd never realized this before. I thought I was like, I grew up in my dad always said, he was always like, play it safe, get a good job, get a government job. Guess what I did? I got a government job. He told me all these rules that I needed to play by. And then I went to school, and I played by the rules at school. And I was just playing by everyone else's rules. And it was just a couple of years ago, I was described by a friend I was working with as the most unhappy, happy person he'd ever met. Because I was always this square peg in a round hole. I was always trying to be something that I wasn't. Can anyone else understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you're playing by other people's rules, and you're thinking, this just doesn't feel right. I was like, I still do some work for the NHS, but I was working with people who I didn't connect with, but I was like, I feel this is what I'm supposed to do, because this is the trajectory of life. You're born, you go to school, you get married maybe a few times, you get married, you have a couple of kids, you get a job, and you get the house, and then you're like, is this it? Is this it? Is this what it is? And so personal development, when I started studying, it really just completely opened my world up to thinking a whole new world, thinking in a completely different way. And I absolutely, I would absolutely say as well that one of the things that has been really profound for me in the last probably year is that things that I've studied for 20 years are just really making sense to me. So you may understand things at a very superficial level, like who reads good books? Who reads good, inspiring books? Tell me what books you're reading. Tell me what are you reading, Darius?
Reading The Sly Edge at the minute.
Oh, brilliant. I love The Sly Edge. Who else is reading what? Shout some.
You are a badass.
You are a badass, yeah.
Speech Money.
Pardon?
Speech Money.
Beach money.
Think of Go Rich.
Drink and Go Rich, yes. What else are we reading?
Girl Code. Girl Code.
Bill. Oh, okay, I not heard of that. We need a reading list. Honestly, have reading lists. Have reading lists, and don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. Because does anyone, show of hands, does anyone ever talk themselves into a bad frame of mind? Come on. Who's got the little demons in their head? Yeah, we all do. We've all got the demons in our head. When you've got access to books and videos that inspire and enthuse you, you've got golden nuggets. You've got absolute golden nuggets. But do you know what most people do with those golden nuggets? They read them and they go, oh, that's very nice. And they put it aside and then they go, I don't know why I'm feeling so bad. I don't understand why things aren't going my way. Do you know why things aren't going their way? Because it's all in your mind. And those books are absolutely useless unless you do something with them. Now, I had a plasterer come to my house yesterday, a very handsome one I might add, which made my evening all the more pleasant. So I had this plasterer turn up at my house, and he brought his toolkit in. And he assessed the job, and then he took out the appropriate tools, and then used them. And I thought, I'm going to tell the group about it tomorrow, because if he had come in with this toolkit, assessed the job, and sat down and had a cup of tea, I'd have still had a gaping hole in my wall, yes? So if you're reading a book, and you're not using the tools that you're learning from that book, or what you're hearing in that motivational video, you're not absorbing it, you're not making it real for you, you're not fixing the gaping hole in your wall, yeah? These are tools that you have to use to make the changes that you want to change, that you want to make. Is anyone looking to upgrade their life in some way, shape, or form? Everyone in the room, we're always looking to upgrade. Like you were saying, Nadine, about the $250,000 suddenly became like, you know, you create new levels of normal, yeah? And I think we're all looking. We're all at our own levels, and we don't need to compete with each other. We're all at our own levels, and the only person we're competing with is ourselves, but we're all defining a new level of normal for ourselves, yeah? So it's great, like you certainly live it, you suddenly live into something, and you're like, wow, now I'm not sure about all the statuses, but now you're at the next level, and suddenly that's become normal for you. So where does the big butt come from? It comes from cake. Where does a big butt come from? The butt comes from how we are conditioned. So we're born, and they go, it's a boy, it's a girl. So we have gender inflicted on us. Number one, yeah? First thing. And then everything that happens around us, there might be a religious ceremony. They might pierce your ears. They might tell you do things this way, you don't do things that way. You talk to those people, you don't talk to those people. Maybe you're, you've got a religion that doesn't fit into the community that you're in. Maybe you're black in a white neighborhood. Maybe you're Hispanic in an Italian neighborhood. And you are shaped by the people and circumstances around you. And then you don't recognize, like the fish doesn't recognize the water, you don't recognize that you're swimming in a sea of all the things that life has shaped you into. And then one day you're going, what's the highest status here? Is it black status? Yeah, and then what's just below black status? And what's the lowest status where you're starting?
White.
So white status and black status, and then you've got a few shades in between. Okay, so you got someone who's maybe stays at white status. I don't know if it's the way it happens, but someone who stays at white status for a while, and then someone who like starts at white status, and then like, how did they get to black status? Have you looked at anyone else in the industry and thought, how the hell did they do that? And then you feel woefully inadequate, and you feel jealous, and you feel like packing it in, and you hate them. And I would encourage you, because they're running a completely different belief system from you, what I would encourage you to do is to call that person and say, I am in such admiration for what you have achieved in such a short space of time. What has enabled you to do that? And how can I help you? So not only are you asking for something, but you're giving something as well. How else can I help you? There's no need to be jealous. It's your belief system holding you back. And that's just not with your statuses here. It's with every area of life. It's your belief system holding you back. I'm going to do a breakout session later about limiting beliefs and how we can overcome them. Would that be useful? I thought so. And I myself am a walking, talking, limiting belief. I'm not a good salesperson, and that's something that came up earlier. Who said they're not good salespeople? Yeah. So you make that true for yourself. I'm doing it. I do it too. I'm guilty. But we all have our ways of making our limiting beliefs manifest in our life. And what Nadine was saying about the your visualizations, that's really powerful stuff. So how do our limiting beliefs start? So we're shaped, the people around us shape us, and then we hang around with people who validate what we believe is true. Yeah, so we tend to, birds of a feather flock together. So if I'm just gonna pick a number from air, so if someone says like, well, all right, we live in this sort of house, we earn a salary in this kind of range, like £50,000 a year, something like that, live in this kind of neighborhood, drive this kind of car. So you kind of fall in line because we all want to be accepted. Acceptance is a huge part of being in a community. So we think that's normal, but we might have a drive for something greater. And the problem is, maybe I shouldn't use the word problem, but I did, so it's out there. So the problem is that the community, the house, the salary, the belief system that we're in, when we decide that we want something more, those people will go, hang on, not using the exact words, but that ain't how we do things around here. So then you think, I'll get back in my box and I'll play by the rules. Is anyone relating to this? Yeah? We play by the rules. Here's some news for you. Sometimes the best gift somebody could give you in life, does anyone know what's coming? Is the gift of goodbye. Some people you don't need in your life, yeah? I'm not saying, well, husbands, I've had a few. Husbands, I've had a few. Too few to mention. But sometimes if people are holding you back because they're insisting that, oh, Judith, do you want to record me? Do you want me to sing with you? She's a songbird. Anyone recognize toxic people who try and hold you back? Yeah? Is anyone intimately involved with them? Because you can detoxify your life in this way by getting rid of the people who bring toxic energy and who try and hold you back because they have a limitation on what they believe is possible. Yeah? So there are 3 levels of people in your life. Would you like to know about the 3 levels of people in your life? They're white, pink, and black status. And this is how it works. Your white status people are the people who you were born into. They're your tribe that you were born into, yeah? And they're your besties that you're into school with and stuff like that. And then you've got some people that you've acquired along the way. They're kind of like maintenance people, many people be doing Christmas cards at the moment, yeah? So you're catching up with your maintenance friends, yeah? And then you've got your black status people. You've got your people who are walking at what is your running pace. The people who are going to help you grow, yeah? So I want you to be thinking for not even 2017. Don't have a happy new year. Have a happy new now. Yeah, have a happy new now. Yay, me! Go me! Have a happy new now. And a happy new you. I'm going to write a new song. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Now. It does work. We'll do this over lunch. Put all the words together. Start making friends with some people who are walking at your running pace so that you can up your game. Yes? especially in your network marketing. This can be in terms of your own personal development or your business development, but hang around with people who are going to hold you to a higher standard. People who are, let's not be embarrassed about money either. This isn't, like, a lot of people have issues about money. You know what? Money's pretty important. It's pretty important. Let's talk about how valuable, how nice life is when you've got an amount of money and you don't have to worry. Who's ever had to worry about money? Same here. Who's ever not had to worry because it's either someone else's treat or something, like, if you don't have to worry? It's a great feeling, isn't it? Yeah? It's great when you don't have to worry about it. We're all aiming for that. We're all aiming for some level of financial freedom so that we can enjoy our lives. So there's something about overcoming your limiting beliefs around money as well. And I'll just go into this just for a second. Notice when I talk about money, how your own beliefs will, like, what did you hear when you were growing up? Because this would have shaped how you feel about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think, I'm made of money? What do you think in America it was like, what do you think, I'm Rockefeller? I was like, I don't know who Rockefeller is. I really don't know. But no, I know that you're my dad. And your name isn't Rockefeller. So it's an interesting stuff around money beliefs. So I surf around on subjects, but is this useful information to you so far? Yeah, that's good. Okay. What's the next thing I want to tell you? Limiting beliefs. Okay, so does anybody, we're going to talk about your big butt. Let's get back to the butt. So does anyone ever say to themselves, I can't do this, I'm not clever enough, the world is cruel, life is hard, network marketing is difficult? Yeah? Any others? Any others you want to share with the world? What are the ways that we limit ourselves? I've got a friend who said, like, she's not terribly overweight, but she said, I'm too fat to go to the gym. Yeah?
I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like it today.
Don't feel like it today, so you make your excuse and you... Well, let's talk about language. Let's talk about... And who mentioned should? The magic should word. Should is a magic number. It's a magic word. When you get rid of should, does anyone have a should? What should you be doing? Is anyone, I should be earning more money, I should be losing some weight, I should be connecting with people, my family. Should, anyone got shoulds? Show me your hands. Who's shoulding all over themselves? Disgusting and make me sick. Yeah. So, this is should. Let me tell you why you can eliminate this word from your vocabulary for the most part. Should is an expectation. It's the voice in your head, not necessarily the schizophrenic voice in your head, but it's the voice in your head, because we all have voices in our head, yes? Yeah? Should is the voice in your head that says, I'm going to go out and drink a bottle of Prosecco with my friends because that's where I want to be, but I'm going to then make myself feel bad by putting the guilt on myself that I should be at the gym or I should be whatever, the should, fill in the should blank. Should is not a priority. When you're shoulding to yourself, you are saying, there's something that I really wish was a priority, but it's not a priority. If it was a priority, guess what? Should wouldn't exist. So my invitation to you is now erase should from your vocabulary when it applies to things that you're saying you should be doing. You can still use it because you're going to go, oh no, I said it. Don't worry. I'm not the should police. But this one word is a magic word, because when you release, I want you to think about who's got the shoulds, who's got shoulds. Has everyone got a should? I want you to just mentally say to yourself right now, I release you should, because if you were a priority, I'd be doing it. Or, I'm going to do it because it's that important to me. And just notice how you feel when you release the should. You do it or you don't do it. Yoda, the smartest person in the Star Wars trilogy, said, do or do not, there is no try. And you can get rid of try as well, because it's like should. That make sense? So get rid of the should. You'll release energy to enjoy what you're doing instead of shoulding. Pardon? Yeah, should, would, was. I'm not sure I like would either. So, I have good news for you. You want some good news? Yes. I knew you would. The good news is that, you know, when you were learning to walk, and most here, someone's on crutches, but most of us are walking, yeah? Most of us are talking. Most of us have learned to dress ourselves reasonably well. We can even apply makeup. I don't know about Darius. It's also mascara, I think. So we have learned all these things because we did what? We persisted until we mastered it. Yes? You didn't fall down and go, Mom, Dad, this walking thing. I don't think it's going to work for me. Have you got a wheelchair? Like seriously, these legs. You did it. You did it, you did it, you did it until you mastered it. Yes? And we get to a point in our lives where we forget that we can master things because we just surrender. We surrender to the house, the salary, the norms, the, okay, well, it's strictly on TV tonight instead of doing something that, you know, is going to fuel your soul, unless you are on Strictly, which is a game changer completely. Where was I? I can't remember what I was just saying.
We get to a point in our lives where we forget we can master things.
What was I saying? Come tell me.
We get to a point in our lives where we forget that we can't master.
Yes, okay, yes. So, we get to a point in our lives where we forget. And that's what I did. I did that on purpose, of course. So, we forget that we can master things. So, you have learned through chronic conditioning, because a belief, a limiting belief, is only a thought that you have repeatedly thought over and over and over again, and then you reinforced it by finding the evidence to prove yourself right. Yes? So we are all fantastic detectives to find the evidence. I told you I couldn't do it. Look at all these experiences I have that show you I can't do it. I've got a whole bag of them. I've got a toolbox of things that don't work. And how many positive experiences do you put in there? Who has got an equal amount of negative experiences and positive experiences they could call on at any one time? So who's got positive experience deficit disorder? That you're not banking those positive experiences, yeah? Because we're reluctant to. And I'll be so bold because I'm now British, I have the passport to show it. But British folk are generally unwilling to step into their greatness. I think it's something about the empire and the war, I don't know. But British folk are generally reluctant to own how wonderful they actually are. I don't know if there's an embarrassment. Americans are a little bit more lenient towards that. So the great news is that your brain, and it doesn't matter how old you are, your brain has the ability to develop new neural pathways. So if you imagine, it's like an email happening in your brain. Like you're put in a situation. So maybe it's a sales call, because we're talking about sales calls. Who hates doing sales calls? Is there a few haters? And haters are great. We'll talk about them later as well. So you hate doing sales calls. So you've already made up your mind. So you fast track to, you've got a neural pathway in your brain that says, it's a split second. You think sales call, oh my God, no, I'd rather die, yeah? It's an instantaneous response because you've set that neural pathway up. That didn't exist when you were born. You have found a way to reinforce that, to make that true for yourself, yes? you can reinforce a new behavior, and your brain will respond accordingly. But, we're going to talk about the big but now. But, you have to manage it all the time. Like, have you ever heard someone say, positive thinking, it's kind of like going to the gym, building that muscle. Yeah, has anyone heard a reference like go to the gym? It's not like going to the gym. It's like breathing. You need to do it more frequently than going to the gym. No, this is true. You need to think because you're thinking more than you go to the gym, yeah? So going to the gym, that's not adequate. It's somewhere between the amount of time you breathe and the amount of time you eat that you're mastering your thinking. Because who here has ever tried to lose weight? Is that anyone? Yeah? Surprise! room of women. You're driving down the road, yeah? And you've got, someone's brought cakes in. But I really want to lose weight. Decision time. Is your decision taking you colder or hotter towards your goal? So it's about being mindful of your goal. What's my goal? I want to lose weight. What's my goal? I want to be black status. Whatever your goal is, every step of the way. Oh, this is great. I got this line here. It's my white line. So every step of the way, you're going to have a decision to make. Yes, you're going to go. Shall I waste some more time on Facebook, or shall I make that sales call? Shall I cook dinner for my husband, or shall I? But what is your goal? And every step of the way, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to micromanage your mindset. Does this make sense? Yeah. It's about managing it constantly. And you develop a new neural pathway. Who has ever successfully created a new habit as an adult? What have you done? Tell me some of the things you've done.
Photography.
So you've taken up photography, yeah. And what was your experience of that? You were passionate about it, or?
Husband was into photography, so I picked up the camera and started taking photos and quite enjoyed it.
So you enjoyed it. And who else has mastered something as an adult?
Making pom-poms.
Brilliant. That's good. Yeah. So, and what was it? You were enjoying doing it, and
yeah, I just think they look really nice, and you do it with them, and it's quite relatively easy and cheap. And now I just do it all the time.
Brilliant. Excellent. Who else has mastered something as an adult? There was some hands over here. What have you mastered?
I watched Marriage now.
Wow. So you mastered and you kept your Hang on. We need a round of applause for the pom-poms as well. And the photography. And for everyone who's mastered something. It's constant effort. It's a constant applied effort. Some things come easier because we want to do them, and they make us feel excited about doing them. And other things are a bit more challenging. If we want to lose that weight, but we really want to eat that cake as well. Some of the things we have more of a challenge to overcome. So micromanaging your mindset. So I want you to all think right now about. I want you to think about, can everyone think of some way they limit themselves? Like, I hate sales calls or whatever. Like, one of those things, yeah? Has everyone got something they can think about? And I want you to think about something that makes you feel a bit like, not like we need therapy after this, but something that makes you feel a little bit unhappy right now. Like, I've got to make that sales call, or I have to have my mother-in-law over or something like that. Something that makes you feel a little bit like, it's a nod to, oh God, in a split second, yeah? So you've got that neural pathway, yeah? I want you to imagine what that neural pathway looks like in your head. Can everyone get an image of what that would look like in your head? And now what I want you to do is come back into the room for a second, and we're going to erase that. And I want you to think, what do you want to believe instead of that? What would you like to believe? Could you all conjure up something that you'd like to believe instead of that, so you don't go back to that not to negative in a split second? Everyone got something else they want to believe?
Yeah.
Now I want you to imagine in your mind that you're creating a new neural pathway. I want you to picture it in your head what that new neural pathway looks like. You know what the outcome is. You know how you want to feel, yeah? You know what you want to be there. Like maybe, I love that sales call. That's brilliant. I can't wait to do my next sales call, whatever it is. And get there in a split second. And run that over and over and over and over again in your head. And continue running that over. And don't even listen to what I'm saying now. Keep running it over. And run it over and over and over and over. And keep doing that. And you know what? It's as simple as that to create a new outcome for yourself. Because you know what? Every single thing is made up. Everything is made up. There are no rules about how things have to be. Everything is made up. What you believe is true, how you present yourself to the world, where you are, everything in your life is a manifestation of what you've made up. So if you are not getting exactly what you want, guess what? You can create a new reality for yourself. Just by thinking about what you want, getting really clear and specific on what you want, writing it down on paper, what you want. If you write something down, the likelihood of achieving it is greater. And don't go with this like vague, I want to be happy. I want to earn 100,000 pounds this year. I want to be on that cruise dancing at the top of that slide before I trip. I want to be on that cruise. I want to be whatever it is. Get it down. Make it happen. Because we have no idea of the power of our brain. And we limit ourselves. And this today is about living life without limits. You don't need to be limited by these things. You do not need to take all the things that happened in your past. This is your past. There's your past. You see it? Everyone see the past? Your past. I can't do this. I'm no good. So what are you doing? You're taking the past and it's defining your future. Do we want that anymore? No. Do we want that? No. God, thank you. No, you don't need to. You do not need to do that anymore. But the choice is yours. And do you know what? Do you know what the good news is? I work with clients who tell me, I've had a traumatic upbringing. And do you know what? I'm not saying it's good, bad, because nothing is good or bad. Thinking makes it so. William Shakespeare or Yoda. One of them said it. Nothing is good or bad. Thinking makes it so. The people that I coach who've had the most traumatic lives have also turned it around the most dramatically. So take your pain and turn it into your power. Because I listen to some of these people and I'm thinking, God, I haven't suffered that much. I haven't suffered that much. But they take what they've been through and they turn themselves into powerful people. They use it, and then they use that to empower other people as well. So I encourage you, because we've all experienced, who has never experienced pain in their life? Who experiences pain all the time? Emotional pain, not physical pain, yeah? We've all experienced emotional pain. Take that pain, use it in your favor. Use it to propel you to new heights, and then be the person at someone else's running pace so that they're going, how can you help me? And then help them as much as you can. So it all trickles down. Be the person that you're aspiring to now. I've got a few more minutes left. I just want to see if there's anything else that I really want to cover. Haters. Haters. Now you gotta love a hater. How could you not love a hater? Haters are like the best thing that you could have. Why are haters great?
Because they motivate. They do better. Achieve more.
Anyone else love a hater?
Yeah, you're more determined.
And do you know what? Haters are, if you're focused on your own growth and your own mission and your own authenticity, listening to what's true for you in your soul, and someone has got the time and inclination to invest in hating you, you can't be anything but sorry for them. Yeah. You gotta love a hater. Send your haters love. Because they need it. Because if you're on your genuine journey, I'm serious, absolutely serious. And I feel bad because I haven't got many haters at the moment, and I'm feeling like I need to do something. But it's also when you stand for something. When you stand for something, you're gonna get haters. Because like I started out, not everyone is coming on the journey with you. So you're gonna get haters along the way, yeah? So that's fine, love your haters. Love your haters. We'll all have a hug after this. Love your haters. And what else did I want to tell you about haters? Yeah, really value them. Send them some love. They need it. I think the final note I want to leave you on is that there's so much interference in our lives in terms of who wakes up and puts their phone on. Check Facebook. Yeah, put your phone on and you start the day with interference, yeah? You don't enter the world. You don't enter the world and like, peace and graceful day. There's so much interference in our life that we don't even listen to ourselves. And then late at night when we go to bed and we're laying in bed and we're thinking, there's got to be something more for me out there. You have that quiet moment where you know that there's something more, there's more potential for you. I would encourage you absolutely listen. Listen to that inner voice. We have lost touch with that. Many of us have lost touch with it in pursuit of things that we don't even know why we're doing them. Listen to your inner voice. And this is me in terms of, I better prepare really specific notes and slides. I don't do notes and slides. I do whatever comes up. And that's okay for me. And that works for me. And hopefully it's work that you've got some value from what I've said to you today. But this is about me trusting that my big butt is good enough for you guys. And it's about trusting yourself that there's two thoughts here. There is no right way to be successful. However, if there is someone who is achieving a high level of success in the area you want to achieve success, I would really encourage you to fast track and follow what they're doing. Model what they're doing. You don't need to make the same mistakes. The highest achievers on the planet are people who learn from other people's mistakes. You don't need to make the same mistakes, but make sure when you're not making the same mistakes and following their template for success, that it is branded you. You are your brand. You will attract the right people to you. Not everyone is going to buy from you. Not everyone wants to come to your house for Christmas dinner. That's okay. Attract your own tribe from your own vibe. And I will leave you on that note. Listen, can we just have a quick little dance, a little bit more on the feet, just for 2 seconds? Have we got Taylor Swift? Can we shake it up? I'm so shake it up.